Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Grind. I am one of your hosts, Luke Hatmaker. Mark is not here with me this week, but I may have some other people filling in, filling out, but you're stuck with me, at least for the time being. It's game day. We finally made it to game day. I'm incredibly excited. I woke up like a kid at Christmas. I was just really pumped. Got some not great news yesterday about some more not great news about the front court, as if we can get any more not great news about the front court, but it happened. Um, but first things first, I just want to preview tonight's game. It's game one. I felt a lot more confident about it, a couple weeks ago when we had a full roster, but all's not lost. We've still got a squad, and honestly, there's some people out for this New Orleans team too. Right now the depth chart, we've got Steve-O out from Memphis, we got Santi out. That was the news that dropped yesterday. Never good when one of your top front court guys has an ankle sprain, but he's considered day to day. We've also got Brandon Clark out. We know that, and Jaw out. So that's four. I'd say four of our best eight guys. It's definitely four of our best nine guys that are just not playing tonight. And that's tough, especially when you look at who they have out. They're missing Jose Alvarado, Najee Marshall, and Trey Murphy. Those are good players, but they still have Jonas Valanciunas and Zion. They have size. They got big dudes in the paint, and it's gonna be hard. We saw last season how this team does, and we know Xavier Tillman's starting. We know that X is good. We know what he can do. My thing is, he's just not as big as some guys. Like the problem with X, he's an incredible player. He does all the stuff you want a guy like him to do, but he's just not that big. And when you're playing the likes of Jokic, your Jokic's, I mean, even your Valanciunas, those guys are big, and we saw how bad. Look at FIBA. Our guys had no answer for their big bodies, and Jaren was a big reason for that. That's why I don't think we're not gonna fully go into this Jaren at the five experiment. At least I don't think. I think it might be a slow rolling process, but I don't foresee us just throwing him out there. He's better suited to play the four. Everybody knows that, and I'm more worried about tonight than I was initially. I think, oh God, I hate being nervous. I hate being a nervous Nelly, but I am being a nervous Nelly. I have us winning this game. I think we play better at home. We know we play better at home. That's a foregone conclusion. We are much better at home than we are on the road, and I think we're going to want to come out and punch people in the mouth today. I really do. But I think they have players that are going to want to do that too. I don't know what to expect from Zion. I mean, for all the talk about our mystery guys, all the talk that we get, I still have no idea what to expect from Zion. When he plays and when he's on, he's one of the best guys in the league. But, between him and Ja, we're having a really interesting 30 for 30 written about this draft class. There's a lot of interesting stories going on here, and I wish Ja was playing tonight. Ja Zion was never like a one-on-one matchup, but watching those two dudes go head-to-head against each other was always really, really fun. And basketball's supposed to be fun at the end of the day. I think we lose sight of that a lot, but it's a game, and we need to have fun while we're doing it. Does it suck? Do we get super heated and into it, and is it easy to get carried away? Yeah, when I quit drinking, when I was drinking, I was obnoxious at games. I would just get sad, and I would just keep drinking, and that's not fun. It's not fun to be that invested, but I feel good about this Grizzly squad heading into this year, and especially this season, even though there's all the injuries and there's stuff to be nervous about. I have faith in this organization. I have faith in TJ. Daniel and I were talking about this yesterday. He's a good coach. I think that if he can get us through this, he's going to win Coach of the Year. Like he's got the pedigree. He's got a talented team, and if he can get this team with a winning record through the first 25 games, and if he can, like games like tonight, games like Friday, where we have two big guys playing the center position that we are going to have to stop. We got Valanciunas tonight, and then we got Jokic on Friday. That's what has me worried more so than anything else, and we'll talk about this more in the next segment, like the stats monster. I think the stats monster, both these two games are going to be on their team because we don't have the big body to throw at them. Sucks, but Jokic and Valanciunas both are just going to clean up the boards. It's not going to. They're big, they're strong, and they're just going to pull down every loose ball they can. It's going to be tough. The matchup in the paint tonight is going to be tough. Like I said, I still have faith in our guys. I really do, but I think tonight is going to be a much harder game than we initially were expecting. We'll see. I still have Memphis winning. I think we'll have the dub tonight, lose on Friday, but I'm going to keep your fingers crossed, keep all the fingers crossed that we can get through tonight injury-free, ideally. That's what I would like. If we can be injury-free, I'm going to chalk that up as a win. All right, and we're going to take a quick break, y'all. When we get back, we are going to do the Stats Master for tomorrow, who I think it is, who it probably will be, and then we'll kind of maybe throw a fun one out there.
I am highly upset, man.
Oh, man.
ESPN, you dastardly dogs you. Last week had us feeling good. They picked the Grizzlies to be first in the West with about 48.5 wins. And what a difference a few days makes.
What a difference.
You put out your list of the top 100 players in the NBA. Desmond Bain jumps in at 61. Jaren Jackson Jr. comes in at number 31. Jaren's top 25 to me, but if you all right, whatever. I think that's a little slight to Jaren. Desmond Bain is disgusting, in my opinion. Then we get Ja Morant, All-NBA player, two-time All-Star, one of the most dynamic offensively players in the NBA, Ja Morant. That guy was number 35 on their list, Kenny Stubblefield. The same people that said the Grizzlies will be the first team in the West, they're going to get that done with just some regular dudes.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Just curious, you kind of talked about the transfers and things like that. How has that changed your mindset from a roster management standpoint? Like, incredible recruiter. All the classes, I think we had 2 back-to-back and 21 and 22 top classes. How does that change with the transfer portal? Do you start focusing more on upperclassmen? Do you kind of get away from the younger freshmen? How does that work?
Yeah, so I still believe in our coaching staff, the way we do things, and developing guys. And that I will never get away from that philosophy. We're still going to recruit a high school class. Now, there's a lot of colleges out there that say, screw this. We're pushing all the chips in on this roster, win right now, and we'll figure it out. Sure. And if it doesn't, right, it implodes and bad things happen. But I think you still have to bring in true freshmen and develop them and see what they can become. And that I'll never waver from that. But the portal certainly changed things.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Alrighty, y'all. And before we go into the next section, I'm going to just take a quick bit to shout out, Bluff City Media. If you're not a subscriber, it's super easy to do. It's really affordable. It's $5 a month. It's that's literally cheaper than any cup of Starbucks coffee you're gonna get. It's cheap. It's not cheaper than this coffee. This was a cup of coffee made from the coffee maker at the little condo here, but it's easy. You get great content, not just about the Grizzlies. They've got great Memphis Tigers content. You get content about the Redbirds. You get soccer content. There's just so much content on the site, and it's all about Memphis. It's all about Bluff City, and they're doing good stuff there. You get a lot of shows. Starting tonight, you're going to have the Grizz 901 live post-game show. That's with Daniel and with Nate. They're coming live every game afterwards, and it's just, they're great. I don't know if you've watched that show, but those dudes are funny, and they just offer really good basketball insight. Shane has a show. If you want to catch Anthony Shane's show, that's Wednesdays and Fridays. We just got a lot going on at Bluff City Media. If you need your Memphis fix, check us out. $5 a month. You might even set it and forget about it. That's what I did. You get your card set up for your recurring payments, and then $5, easy peasy. All right, but with that all being said, I'm going to touch on tonight a little bit more. We're going to talk about tonight's stats monster. Now, for those of you unaware, the stats monster, of course, is the guy that we think is just going to be a beast in the box score. The guy who is going to, whether it be score a crap ton of points, have a shit ton of assists, pull down 40 rebounds. I've never seen anybody do that, but the guy that's going to perform like a beast, that's the stats monster. I'd really like to be able to give it to a Memphis Grizzly. That would be really cool. Unfortunately, screw it. I might eat crow tomorrow, but I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go with Jaren. I know I spent all the talk at the top of the show about how we're gonna get bullied down in the paint, and Jonas is a big dude, he's a strong dude, but I think Jaren might be playing with a little with a little bit of fuck you attitude. He's coming off a FIBA play where he wasn't spoken of very highly. I was listening to a podcast today, and people were bashing him about lack of rebound in FIBA. It's getting a little tired at this point. Like, he was out of position. I think he's going to be playing with a pretty big chip on his shoulder, and especially against a former teammate, Valanciunas, who he knows really well and who bullied him. Like, that's a big guy that bullied him in the FIBA. He knows the way Jaren plays. I'm of the opinion that Jaren is going to have just build on the season. Last season he had, build on that Defensive Player of the Year award and just stay dominant. I think his offensive game is going to continue to catch up with his defense. And I think tomorrow might be the start of that. I think tomorrow might be the first game where he just goes on a mission. It's tough to win Defensive Player of the Year 2 years in a row. It's tough. He may not do that, but I see another all defensive team. I see that in his future, and I think that's pretty attainable, honestly. I would love to see him come down with a bunch of boards tonight. I really would. I know it's going to be tough. Like I've been saying, it's going to be tough not having the size down there, but I still think that he's got other tools in his tool belt. It's not just about pulling down boards. If Jaren can get hot and block a couple shots tonight and get going offensively, like he could. I'd love to see him get over 20 and at least 8 or 9 rebounds tonight. I know a lot of that's wishful thinking, but it's what I want. It's what I want. I was going to go with Valanciunas here if I wasn't going to pick a Grizzly. Honestly, I think he's going to have a monster game too. Like I said, it's going to be tough, man. You could go with Dez. I don't know who they have guarding him on the perimeter tonight. It's going to be fun. You watch tomorrow, I'll get here and I'll have a big plate of crow and I'll be eating it and I'll be like, oh yeah, this tastes pretty good. I said Jaren was going to have a big game and then he just kind of, shat the bed. He's not going to shit the bed, but he's going to do good. Jaren will be the stats monster. You guys just wait. All right. Now that was a bit of a short segment, but I want to spend a lot more time on our last segment, just kind of seeing what danger zone we're in with this front court, guys. Like, it's getting hairier and hairier each passing day. I don't know. We're running out of options, and I'm on our team right now. We're currently running out of options, and we got to play at least 5 games before we can add another guy, sign another guy. So I'm worried. I'm not. I'll touch on that later. We're just going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Seth Hennigan just still. He
Doesn't look himself.
He just doesn't, in the big moments, he's not making the plays that have to be made. If you look at the raw stats, they're not terrible, but the 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
And he fumbled twice. They didn't lose those fumbles, but 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions, one of them coming at a terrible time on a 4th down late in the game when Memphis really needed to put points on the board. But I just don't think Seth is playing well enough to elevate this team.
Right.
I think he's playing well enough for Memphis to be fine, but as far as for them to do something special and to elevate this team, he's just not playing like that.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Kenny, there are certain guys in the NBA that are enigmatic players. They're going to be appealing to a large fan base. But when you have guys like that, who like Ja Morant, who have off-court issues he's had, Kyrie Irving has had the things he's had, the NBA doesn't particularly like the fact that those guys are larger than life. If I'm NBA, if I'm ESPN, who of course are working together on all this stuff, I'm going to start telling you who you need to like. And it's going to be a different type of guy to kind of play off of the guys that are going to be there anyway. Let me put these squeaky clean image guys that we want to put in front of you up there as well to kind of counteract some of the stuff we get with the guys that we don't have any control out of. So let me put the Tyrese Halliburtons in front of you. Let me put the Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders in front of you, the Josh Giddeys. Let me force these guys in front of you, not particularly on national television games, but let me just kind of create these little sub agendas with these guys to kind of make them those second tier stars that we're gonna like put out in front as well. Like, they're doing this on purpose, man. Like, if anybody can't see this, like, come on, man. Do not sit there and tell me that you really think that Tyrese Halliburton is a top 20 player in the NBA.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Man, Sane's crazy. If y'all don't watch Sane's show, you need to catch it out. It's really, really good. You can catch that and honestly a bunch of other shows over at Bluff City Media, guys. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. You might even be an insider. If you're not, $5. I'd be willing to bet that most of y'all have $5 in your car just strewn about in change. I know I do. I don't know what that says about me, but I've got a lot of change in my car. Who knows? But yeah, you can catch Sane Show on there. You can get Tigers Untapped. If you like Tiger stuff, man, there's not anyone in the city doing more Tigers content than we are. Got to check it out. And then starting tonight, you're also going to have the Grizz 901 live post-game show. That's with Nate and Daniel, 2 awesome dudes. 2 dudes that are really fun to watch, and they get basketball. You know, it always helps if the guys you're watching know what they're talking about. These guys know what they're talking about. And you can get all that and Bluff City Bets too. That's Daniel's other show. You know, if you're into gambling, if you like making some cheddar, I'm really bad at gambling. I got an addictive personality, they say. So if I start gambling, it's just like goodbye Saigon. It's just over and over and over. Money buy. So I'm not a gambler, but if you're a gambler, check out Bluff City Bets. Daniel's on that. Daniel's good at it. He knows what he's doing. And like I said, it's $5. All that for the price of a cup of coffee. Which I don't know, anybody in Destin, if you're ever in Destin, check out the Donut Hole. It's awesome. They got they had a key lime pie filled donut. Like, what the hell is that? It's delicious. It's awesome. Check that out if you're in Destin ever. Shout out them. All right. Final segment, y'all. Where are we at in terms of panicking with the front court? Are we at DEFCON? I'm at DEFCON 3. For those of you who don't know, the DEFCON scale is what the USA uses to nuclear imminent, whatever, goes from 5 to 1, with 5 being the least scary and 1 being the most scary. So if the front court issues were comparable to nuclear fallout, I would have us at DEFCON 3. I was at DEFCON 1 or 2 till the Santi news broke yesterday. I think I, for one, was banking. I was banking on Santi being in this rotation. The dude is a hell of a hooper. I've been a fan of his, regardless of what Nate says. I have not wanted to trade him. I just think that he's so good that teams would want him. And I don't think that makes me that crazy. Like, I really don't. It's the back half of the bench. I don't know what we're supposed to do in the rotation there. You know, like Santi was my answer. I had him penciled in as your backup for your 5. I mean, he's got to be one of your bigs, and now he's gone. You know, he's day to day. It's an ankle sprain, so it's not the end of the world. But that means right now on the roster, the bigs that we have, we got Jaren X Jr. That's it. And that's just not, it's not going to cut it against some of these bigger guys, like some of these bigger teams. Like, who's your reserves? I love Junior, and I think Junior is an NBA player, but he's not going to be able to go against, like tonight, if Larry Nance Jr. kills us. He kills us every single time. I feel like every single time we play the Pelicans, Larry Nance Jr. goes for double easy. Like, if Junior's against those guys, like I think Junior's good, and he's just still so young and raw. Like it's just tough when you're already playing in a position where you're playing with sort of this expectation because you're missing 2 of your guys, and you want to perform well. You want to like show them that they can rely on you, but I feel like more often than not, people that do that, they end up messing up. And not that I'm saying Junior will mess up. I just don't think long term this cannot be what we do. And honestly, when Santi gets healthy, we still cannot stay this way. I might go down to DEFCON 2. I might drop down to DEFCON 2 when Santi comes back. But even then, like, we need rebounding help. We just do. Like, look at the Grizzlies last year. You know, who led their, I mean, other than Steve-O, we know Steve-O led the rebounds, but let's see. Yeah, we had, Steve-O averaged 11.5 rebounds per game last season. Pretty damn good. Second place, Jaren with 6.8. Third place, Ja, 5.9 rebounds. Like, where was Santi? X and Santi were 6 and 7 on that list. Junior was 15th. Like, we saw with the whole rebounding by committee, we know we can do that. Like we know Kennard's a decent enough rebounder. We know that. Sorry to evoke his name, Jitty. We know he can rebound. I'm just worried that this team is going to make a couple habitual mistakes we've made in the past because we don't have answers anymore, because we don't have answers on the roster at this point. You know, Jitty hasn't played since the first preseason game. We're probably going to see him play tonight because at least he can rebound. You know, and he can rebound pretty well. I mean, where was he last year? Yeah. Tillman and Santi and Conchar were 6th, 7th, and 8th on our team in rebounds last year. You know, like, but even then, they were 5, 4.8, 4.3. Between 5 and 4 rebounds. We are going to need, frankly, we're just going to need more than that. You know, we're absolutely going to need more than that against the cream of the crop in the West. You know, like, you can't be trotting out rebound by committee repeatedly against Jokic, against AD, against Valanciunas, against, hell, even Phoenix. Like, you can't just hope to win by committee in these games. You can't. Not when you're missing the best offensive rebounder in the league for the season. You just can't. And yeah, we might get Brandon BC back earlier than normal, but even then, Brandon Clark 5.5 rebounds a game. Like, Ja was still averaging more rebounds than all these guys, and he's out the first 25 games. Like, I know who I would trade. I would go out and get a guy like Andre Drummond immediately if I could, and just have him fill those reserve minutes. We are going to have somebody after 5 games when the team is allowed to go and sign that 16th guy. I will be extremely disappointed if they do not make a move. Quite often you can move sideways and, still be okay. A sideways move isn't necessarily a bad move. A step back is. And not signing anyone, not trading for anyone to get this team and its fans out of DEFCON 3, if not doing that would be a huge disservice to the team and to its fan base. And a year that so many of us had, this was a promising year. It's still a promising year. I'm not out on this team. I still think this team is going to be a top 4 seed in the West. I really do. I think they've got that much talent. I think they're that well coached. But, not making a move, and if that were to lead to us not making the playoffs, that condemns the team a lot of ways. And I hope Kleiman's given us no reason to really doubt his finesse with free agents, with trades. I don't doubt him when it comes to that. We know this team can be stubborn. I just hope they realize before it's too late that this team is special. They have a chance this year, I believe, to make a run at it, but not right now. With the injuries that have decimated this with this front court, like, that run ain't happening. That run is not going to happen until we address the holes in the front court. It's not going to happen. And until those holes are addressed, I'm going to be sitting here in DEFCON 3, in my bunker. I don't have a bunker. I'm not a bunker person, but I know bunker people. I might go see what they're doing and just sit with them in their bunker and wait it out. Wait it out until at least Santi gets better. And who knows? Santi may be back Friday, but we do know this Grizzlies team is very, very careful when it comes to injuries. So, hell, a day-to-day ankle sprain might keep Santi out till Christmas. Who knows? The way they announce stuff. So we'll see. Thanks, y'all, for hanging with me today. First solo show. Might have been terrible. I'm not sure. I appreciate you guys. If it was terrible, do me a favor. Don't tell me. You can just lie to me, okay? I won't get my feelings hurt. I don't have very many, just like 1 or 2. I don't want you to hurt damn near every one of them. So, yeah. Thank y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're going to hang out again. Like I said, check out Bluff City Media. And again, tonight, after the show, the Grizz 901 live postgame show. Check that out. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be hanging out with Nate and Daniel. So make sure y'all are there. It's going to be a good time. All right, y'all. Make sure you watch the game tonight. It's going to be on Valley Sports Southeast. Excited. Go Grizz. Go Grizz. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all.